96.7 to be Hoodrich Radio is the voice of DJ Scream Moran is here. We got a special guest up in the building.
Yes,
hottest
sir.
project in the streets right now.
Sir.
Give it up for Fabolous in the
What's
building.
What's up?
Yes, sir.
What's up, man? Welcome to Hoodrich Radio. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. It's it's always good to come in and check in and see what's going on in the streets. And I'm in the A, so I'm stopping through.
No doubt. Now we got to start with Summertime Shootout. Was it meant to come out during the summer and it just got delayed because you wanted to perfect it, or did you intend for it to be the hottest? The hottest
well, it's
winter?
always good to heat up the winter, but truthfully, the whole story behind it is that the project really is like me recapping or me getting some inspiration from the summer I just had. You know what I'm saying? So I always put it out like in the fall or the winter because it was kind of like me recapping the summer, or just the emotions, just the whatever I was doing, whatever I was watching. Even in this project, like in 2019 and 2018, during the summers, I was watching the Insecure show. You know what I'm saying? So I sprinkle something in there, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever I came across in the summer, I would just drop a little bit in there.
Absolutely.
Kind of like recapping my summer a little bit.
So as we hear, lifestyle definitely influences your bars because you're always current. Like
definitely,
you be like, yo, did he make this yesterday?
Yeah, definitely. Like even one of the intro, I did it maybe like the top of June. So at that time, I was rooting for Zion to come to the Knicks. Of course, we all know that New York never has any luck. And they didn't.
Well, Brooklyn's doing okay.
Yeah, Brooklyn is all right. You know what I mean? But so that's where that came from. But I left it in there because it was part of like how I was thinking at that moment when I wrote it. You know what I'm saying? I was, saying that I hope Zion comes to New York, and if he does, I'm gonna, give him a little talk about, just even how New York sports is a little, like they love you but hate you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing good, you all over the place. You on the paper, but when you're doing bad, they run you down a little bit. So I was just gonna give him that game, just coming into a big market like New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You think the city of New York did Melo wrong?
I don't know if the city did him wrong. I kind of in a little way felt like the game a little bit did him wrong. Like you know what I mean? Like they, you know what I mean? But what's it's never over, and I think even just seeing him back balling today is to show that, you know what I mean, you can't get down on yourself. You gotta
keep balling.
Keep balling, keep going through it, and if it's right, you'll get another opportunity at what you love to do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now, one of the standouts on the project is Bombs. Tell us all about it, man.
Oh yeah, that's we coming right off a basketball thing, so that's kind of from the Chicago Bulls, the '90s Michael Jordan era. You know what I mean? They had this amazing intro that they would come out to. Not only was the team phenomenal at that time, you know what I mean? They just broke their record of wins. What was that, a year or two ago with the Warriors 73 and
a couple years ago.
Yeah, so like they had the best record ever. You know what I mean? It was just a great team, and then they had this incredible intro that made it even feel even more. So, I grew up on that time, was a big Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan fan. And, I always remembered that intro. And at times I wanted to do it and didn't even want to play with it because I felt like it was so big and iconic that I didn't even want to try to sample it or whatever. But then I just took my shot at it this time, and it actually went in.
Definitely went in.
Then I got to get on my mixtape Fab on it, you know what I mean? So, that's another thing, too, with the project. Certain songs I was in different bags and, different flows and cadences, and that's what I was trying to do with the project as well.
For sure. With this project, a lot of the songs, they feel really personal. So, and you clearly addressed a lot of things that you went through that we won't necessarily have to speak on.
Yeah.
But how are you able to put yourself in the creative zone to talk about certain things that are so personal?
Well, that's what... As me growing as an artist, too, that was one of the things that I wanted to do, share some of my experiences, share some of the things that I was going through, not generally like just, splatting it out there, but through the music, make it even like therapeutic for myself, and then at the same time, express myself as far as how I was feeling, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, some of the songs was even more personal to me, but I still was able to keep it a vibe where it's, something that you could listen to and vibe to and relate to, and that was the goal out of it. Some songs that I was trying to do, sometimes it either gets too vibey or too personal, so the songs that ended up making the project was ones that, actually blended the both of that together really well.
True that. On the track with you and Jeremiah, are those your actual kids on the end talking?
Yeah. That's my daughter and my 2 sons on there. You know what I mean? I added that little piece after. I remember I did the song, and I was just like, just still wanting to make it a little more personal to me, and like something that I could do to just put that final touch on there. And for a while I've been trying to like organically get my kids to talk and just tape them on a low, but that wasn't working. So I finally, like it was my 4-year-old was just saying anything. I asked him, man, what family mean to you? Family can get me some pizza. He'd be like, nah, that's not gonna work for the song. So eventually I just had to like tell them to come into the studio and just vibe with me, and they'll tell them what I want, tell them what to say, but I not tell them exactly what to say, but ask them some and just let them speak on it, through the mic. And I think it came out good. I think it was a great layer for that song as well, and it made it more personal and more heartfelt. Even the producer, like this kid Bink, man, shout out to Bink. He's in the A right now too. He was like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause he didn't hear it till that was like the final. And he was like, man, you took the whole song and made it, I felt it felt real personal now and relatable to me. Like I wanna, you know what I mean? I wanna listen to it in a different light now. I was like, yeah, man, that's what I wanted to do with that song, was really make people feel, not even just my emotion, but even a thinking song for somebody else as well. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think, putting the kids on it helped it do too.
For sure.
With all the craziness going on in the world, man, when we see, school shootings and just the craziness, what's some of the things that you have to tell your kids frequently and instill in them as a father now?
Try to instill just some, something like that. It's kind of hard because, that's a situation you really like, school shootings, it's hard to really, I tell them to really try to make the best decision, make good choices, keep yourself out of harm's way. And really, I don't want to, you want to teach your kids and instill things in them, but you don't want to scare them away from life's experiences too. So, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, if you do, when you know how that goes when, somebody is kept away from something all the time, they get older and now they run to it because they was never able to, they was like, they want to know what that is. Their curiosity bring them there. So, with boys, it's a little different from girls, of course. And, my sons, I try to just instill the right things in them, because I know that when they go out in the world, they're going to have to, that's when you'll see if what you've been teaching or what you've been showing them is working, because they're going to have to do it on their own. You know what I'm saying? There's only so much that you could protect them from, or you could tell them not to do, and you know what I mean? But at the same time, they got to make some decisions too. So I give them that freedom, but at the same time, just instill the right things in them, and hopefully they'll be able to use it.
Now, I'm going to make a confession, bro. When I want to know what kicks to get for the weekend, I just go to your page.
Oh, nah,
I don't go
man.
to that. I just go to your page like, what kick should I get for the
And
weekend?
it's the thing is like, bro, Fat, you've literally been fresh for like 20 years.
Yo.
Like whatever's popping in the early 2000s, you had the freshest jerseys.
Yep.
Then we get to the later teens, you had the freshest polos and jackets. So how do you stay so stylish, bro?
A little mixture of like, that's I always like fashion and being, just being presentable. As I got older though too, I started looking at how you wear. I think fashion, they put it in a realm of like certain things, but I think it's really just your comfort. It's an expression of yourself. So whatever, like, when you come out and how you feel, like, you dress to how you feel sometimes. Or if you want to, when you're going out, if you want to step your joint up, you step it up a little bit. But I still, with me, I just try to keep whatever's comfortable with me. Sometimes I put on something and I'll be like, nah, this ain't me. Or, I put together something and I like it, but I'll be feeling like it's not, I don't feel comfortable in it. You know what I'm saying? So, I just, over the years, I've been able to do what's comfortable to me. Of course, my lady, she keep me on point too, you know what I mean? Emily, she styles me and stuff like that. So she keeps everything in pocket for me. Even if I know what I like, what works with her is that she knows what I like too, so she's able to, flow off of that too. So, that's just the most of it. Just really just being comfortable, bro, and still keeping my ear and eye to the streets and see what's what's going on. You know what I mean? And I always loved kicks from before I was rapping. Before when I was sixth grade.
Like if you just gotta go to the closet,
grab
some
white
a pair.
on whites. If
of
you
course,
just want to grab on something
for sure.
something clean, you never can lose with like even even the silhouette of the sneaker is smooth. It's you know what I mean. It's not bulky. It's not they lay on sweats, jeans, whatever. You know what I mean. So I always think that white on white Air Force One is a go-to no matter what.
True that. How do you keep the balance within your music? Because like on the one end, I feel like you're one rapper that can really talk to the ladies, and then you can just kill everybody with some bars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think that's where I was kind of groomed into, probably because of what my favorite artists were between like Biggie, Hove, even like LL. You know what I'm saying? Like he was somebody who made those joints for the ladies. He made I Need Love. He made a Love You Better. But then he went at cannabis. He, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody who questioned any kind of MC skills, he went at him too. So L was somebody that I always hold in high regard to. Is grooming that kind of style for me. And like I said, Biggie would give you Who Shot You, but then he'd give you Big Papa at the same time, and Hove the same way. You know what I'm saying? So those was the immediate guys that I could listen to, especially between Big and Jay, because they was from Brooklyn and so close to where I was from as well.
True that. Does Fabolous still freestyle?
I do, but I love the right.
Jack, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Will we in 2020 when we get the return of Friday Night Freestyles?
I think I will bring it back.
Okay.
I brought it when I did it. It was because nobody was doing that at that time. Like it was like kind of like I was like reminiscing on it again. Like yo man, when people used to, it's just that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody just, you know what I mean? Like that was missing for the. I think now, of course, like I see a lot of like at radio shows, different people are doing it. Even just in general, I see different people doing it, and like. You know what I mean? I like that energy. I like when, you know what I mean, you can get that every once in a while, you know what I'm saying? So that's where it came from for me. Like now it's not like it's being done a lot now, but it's still like you still getting that element, you know what I mean, that taste. I think too, people appreciate it too because hip hop kind of like slowly changed from it being all about bars and if the skill of you rapping to now it's like about having fun and, a good catchy beat, catchy hook. You know what I'm saying? So now it lessened the element of somebody coming up and rapping. Like you wouldn't, certain artists you wouldn't even ask to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like before it was a time where everybody who came across you was like, yo, let me see what you could do. But now it's like it's not like needed for you to be a hip hop artist anymore.
I mean, in a perfect world, we could get some bars from you right now if we could.
In a
perfect world.
The world ain't perfect though, man.
The world ain't perfect.
I wish the world was
Trump
perfect.
is president,
Yeah.
They trying to impeach Trump now. I seen something on Baller Alert that said they coming at him, but when every time they come at him, he be fighting back though. I ain't gonna lie.
He's built for the war, man. Listen, we've been talking as we close the decade out a lot on the show about the top albums of the year, but we're gonna flip it a little bit for you. Outside of the Soul Tape, which we know what that is, what's some of the mixtapes this decade that you think are at the top?
From other people, I think also though I think mixtapes have changed in this decade.
Yeah.
A lot of mixtapes from the past, it was more freestyle of what you were doing, whereas now in this last decade or so, I would say they're more structured, kind of like albums. You know what I'm saying? They're more original songs, more different transitions of songs and stuff like that.
Do you think that some people announce it as a mixtape though to be safe?
I don't know. I used to wonder that though. I don't understand why. If you make it like an album, I don't know why it's just called a tape.
Right.
But and then now mixtapes too are given through the digital platform, so it's not the same even process. You remember how mixtape used to feel underground a little bit. You had to get them from the street. You had to
go to a certain
even
place.
How you got them, like you know what I'm saying. Or you download them. It wasn't like I could just go to Apple and listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing too. I feel like, to be honest, playlists are the new mixtapes really. Like you know what I mean, because people just construct these playlists however they want, and it's a consistent vibe, and that's kind of like how I did Shootout 3. I wanted it to feel, it comes from a mixtape series, but mixtapes in this era to me are playlists. So I was like, let's make it where, it's features. It might be feature heavy to some people, but that's the flow of like a playlist. When you putting the songs together, like the same way a DJ used to put their songs together. They'll grab songs from a bunch of artists, slap them together and do a mixtape that way. Mixtape started changing where it was one artist,
right,
original songs, you know, different things like that. So it's over time kind of changed a little bit. I think, like, I would say when Drama was doing his tapes, there was like one artist, one DJ, that kind of thing. Before that, a lot of mixtapes were, you know, the DJs were pulling songs from all over the place, putting it together. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think it's just the evolution of it, really. You know what I'm saying? I think tapes have grown from there. I think the tapes in this era are more like playlists and more, you know, direct to one artist and more like original song content. It's not, you know, when you look at even like how Kendrick and Drake's first tapes were, those could be albums, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I think the evolution of the tapes. But I don't know what distincts it. I can't even tell anymore. I don't know what. Right. I don't know if they just say it just because they want to say like this ain't they out. Like I had the conversation with Dave East because he was saying like his album that he just put out was his first album, but he's put out like a couple.
I definitely disagree with that.
Were, like, supposed to be mixtapes, and you didn't count none of them. It's like, so you know what I mean. That's how I was going in this era. I don't know.
Maybe the label says it.
Maybe
you're not ready for your album, so this is your mixtape, and then eventually you get a album.
I guess it's a cheat code, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
if it don't do what it's supposed to do, that was just the mixtape.
Yeah, man. You know, we coming back strong, bro. Yeah.
We building.
Will that ever be?
What's some of your notables for this decade, though? Like tapes
notable tapes.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting hard to remember what was a tape and what was an album. It was just projects.
Out, like, Rich Forever.
Rich
Forever was
Live Love ASAP.
Yep.
YRN, Migos.
Yeah, Migos, Future.
I would say the Future tapes was strong. Though he was on a run with Beast Mode and, you know, all of those joints. Rich Forever to me was amazing. But like Rich Forever for me was like, this was supposed to be an album.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't feel like a mixtape. It just felt too strong to be a tape. Migos, I think Migos tape cemented Migos in their flow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like before that you had got a few little doses of them, but like for like, especially from coming up to our way up New York, like it cemented who they were as artists. Like that's what the tape did for them. Yeah, but a lot of them I can't, especially in the latter of it, I can't distinguish what was a tape or what was an album now, just because of like they're like in the same vein. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but those I remember being mixtapes for sure. I remember, you know, definitely Rich Forever.
Before you get out of here, man, give us 3 fab predictions for 2020. What are 3 things that's gonna happen? It could be either for you or just as it pertains to the world.
New decade.
Abstradamus.
2020 predictions. We're gonna get another Fab album.
All right. Well, you can control that. So let's apply for that ahead of time.
I think Trump might get impeached.
Okay. Well, we hope for that. We pray for it every morning.
I think you know.
I just don't want the party to be distracted trying to get rid of him as opposed to preparing to compete with him.
Right.
That's my thing. But
it's tricky out here because that could be a little plot. Yeah. You know what I mean? I never thought of it that way because I think it was a plot even getting him in.
Yeah, it's always an agenda.
I think what my plot with that was I thought Bernie might have been the right candidate, but they like swindled everybody to go with Hillary when I don't think Hillary ever could have won. So they push you behind a candidate that is not gonna overall win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they took the candidate that might have had a chance out of it because they got us, the hip hop community, everybody was kind of like, you know, anybody who was, you know, they was going for Hillary. And, but that might be a good plot though. My last
Fab
one.
Album. Trump's out of here.
And
you think Braun gets one, or will it be the return of Kawhi?
Or will the Knicks get it together?
Nah, I don't think not in 2020. Not in 2020. That's a long. Yeah, let's go with that one.
Let's go with that one.
Let's go with Braun gonna bring one home.
Could you ever see yourself though turning Summertime Shootout into a movie?
I actually sat down with like this screenwriter and he wrote it out for me because you know, the first 2 had like these skits and the skits was what I used to tie the songs together. I took the skits out of the 3rd one because I again was trying to make it more like a playlist vibe more than just digital kind of changes things a
Yeah.
little bit to me. Just even that course of how you listen to it. I don't think people listen to skits in that vein that much anymore.
Right.
Some projects they are connected to them and they work, but I just felt like, but like you go back to what you saying, I had somebody writing something based on like how the first two had that storyline to it from just the skits that were involved and how the skits tied into the next songs. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it could possibly be. I was trying to figure out if I wanted it to be a full-fledged, like maybe a short movie or like a series thing. I think, because of binge watching now in this era too, some series or more. You know what I'm saying? Like you watch Top Boy or any of those kind of shows versus people's patience now don't want them to sit in front of something for an hour and a half anymore. So, which is interesting because I come from a movie era, so I was kind of like leaning towards that. But I see how now people do like to watch things in episode form.
True that.
In their own time. So I think it could happen though.
Yeah, I think that'd be hard. That'd be hard.
What do y'all personally like more, movies or series?
Right now, Netflix is the way.
Yeah,
Netflix is there. But you get The Irishman, which is.
I ain't see it yet because it's 3 hours.
It's 3.5. Well, you gotta break it up.
To get 3.5 that I can sit there.
Yeah.
And during this promo press run,
it ain't gonna happen, right?
Unless I'm on a plane, I can't. I ain't got 3 hours yet. You know what I'm saying?
I've been taking it an hour at a time.
Yeah.
De Niro really did his thing. So.
True
It
that.
looked like it's amazing, and I'm just a fan from what they did in their previous back in the days with just all of the Scorsese stuff they did. Like, so I know it, I got high expectations from it. So you know what I mean. But I'm waiting to like really sit down and focus on it.
True that, man.
Big shouts out to Fab for pulling up the Hoodrich Radio.
Yes,
Make sure y'all get that.
sir. And on behalf of us, this is for
Part
you.
3.
This is your own Chaotica Eyeball.
You gonna melt that, man?
Absolutely, bro. You know what that is?
No, what is this?
So basically, that is for your microphone. You put it on your mic, and it literally makes you sound like you're in a booth. So you're on the road and all that cool stuff.
Portable booth.
Yeah, absolutely. It's basically a portable booth.
Fab's
So,
gonna melt that.
so all the freestyles we just talked about you finna do for 2020, do them in there. Gonna go crazy.
I'm gonna tape it too. I'm gonna send y'all this. Like, I gotta see how this really works.
It works.
Yeah.
100%.
No bullshit. It
Man.
works.
See, man, Hoodrich Radio give you gifts, man. Ain't
come
nobody
bearing
give me
gifts.
no gifts. You know what I mean? It's a special right here. Man.
Absolutely. And next time you come back, we gotta get a freestyle.
All right, I gotta put it together. I just gotta know ahead of time, so I'm in freestyle
come
head
do
mode.
something
Oh
the
wow!
city,
So we
man.
could have
You know
asked.
what I mean?
Dang.
You guys
No,
just
next-
let me know
next
what
time, do
like,
something for the city,
tell
man.
Ron something like, yo, they
Yeah.
want the. All right, I got you. Shout out to everybody in the A2. I want to thank everybody. I had a dinner last night for just to celebrate the release of the project. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out my boy Ruggs for letting us.
Shout out to Copper
he
Cole,
was
man. The
Copy
food is
Cole.
amazing.
Shout out to 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz came out. Monica. Shout out Monica for coming through there. JD. Who else? I miss anybody? Who else was in there? Don Q. Shout out Don Q. He happened to be in town. Everybody, man. Lucci. Shout out Lucci. He came through too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just people coming out and support, man. I appreciate that every time I come today.
That's what's happening, man.
That's what it is. Big major salute to Fabolous. You know what it is? Hoodrich Radio 96.7 The Beat.